Welcome back, guys. Deathbringer here. So this time we will do the Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. Um, I will do the Smothering Lake probably after the Anorlando. So anyway, without further ado, let's talk about this area. So after the catacombs, you get introduced to this area, which is spectacular in like in visuals. Like the visuals of the area are very interesting, and also kind of spoils out the that Pontiff is connected to the painting of the Ariandel, because all of the snowy themes and stuff like that. We don't know if we should take snow in the literal form, like that the time here is frozen, or is just cold for other factors. Maybe Sullivan cast a spell, or we don't know, maybe it's snowing because of what happened, because here there should be a war actually. Like when Sullivan came out of the painting, he did some stuff to conquer this area. So here we see the slaves. Like the lore in this area is pretty heavy and it's pretty much well constructed. So all in all, this area, the first arc of this area is really challenging. It's the first time in an area where to go from the first bonfire to the second one, you have to run through so many mobs. Like it's the first time they do that. And also the mobs are really nicely placed and they really nicely interact with each other to stop you. So we see the witches here. They finally got me, but it's no biggie. So yeah, the enemies here are really nice indirectly. We see a second wave of slaves is coming. Yeah, right in the tip on that. So I'm waiting for the second wave. Oh no, I'm not. I'm actually gonna rush that guy. So the reason that you shouldn't rush blindly is because there is a second witch in the upper floor on the balcony right there. So this is what I mean by good interaction. Like you have two choices. You either wait for the second wave to reach the first witch, or even if you go aggressive on the second wave, there's again a witch to back them up. So really nice interaction. Here we see new game plus 7 damage without the fire ring. I think I don't have it on me. So anyway, these enemies really weak to bleed. They bleed with one hit actually, as you can see. Oh, we take an Estus back really nicely. So all in all, the enemies of the area are really unique and they really cover the weaknesses of each other really nicely. Like the first enemies with a sword, really aggressive enemies. First time you see that kind of aggro in this game. So many new players will die to them. Like when you first came in this area, you won't have that much stamina to roll out. So, and also they have enough health to usually survive your R1 spam the first time you play around. So anyway, yeah, this enemy is pretty interesting. But yet again, they have the same problem as many enemies of the game. If you attack them once and manage to stagger them, they can die if you have enough stamina to kill them. So here we see a really nice shortcut. Most of us which will skip, I'm sure of it, the first time we play the game. So the layout of the first part is really simple. Just go straight, tank the waves of the mobs, and there are some paths for some extra loot if you want to find it, but they are not so big to call them optional areas. They're more like hidden items. So after that, you can search around. Again, they put so many enemies in front of you, so you're forced to search around other ways and to find this bonfire. So also I want to talk about the beast you find when you go to this area of the starting. Yeah, it's dead, that's why, and I failed the challenge, that's why I can't show it to you. But that enemy is really strong actually. as most of you should know. So it's a really nice introduction to this area to test you and be like, you know, are you ready? Maybe you have to go to the smoother lake, like, or maybe you have to level up more. It's a very good introduction. Like, the difficulty spike is really good in this area, and also at most you should have +6 weapons here. So even if you go to the smoother lake, you will have +6. Maybe if you trade with the crows, you could get a +7. And of course, I'm not talking to take the dance or skip. Like, I'm not talking about that. Most new players shouldn't know about that. Those dogs are actually, for me, the hardest dog enemy in the game. Yeah. They do massive damage. They also do frostbite, some of them, the ones with the blue eyes. They can do frostbite to you. And all in all, this area really unique with the visuals and stuff like that. Really nice. And it keeps on going to the straight path. Like, no much to say about divergent and stuff, and not much of ambushes too. Like, this is the only room, I think. Oh, you can argue that the Silver Knights are an ambush too, but not that much of ambushes. Like, most of the enemies are wide open, and you can see them from afar, and they serve in a way like, you know what, if you're up to the challenge, just come to us. Like, it's really fascinated, and maybe they kinda act like a cinematic. Like, when you first go in with a doll, Sullivan realizes that someone passed the barrier, and he just tells to his soldiers to keep walking down and find him. So maybe that's why you see them walking downwards to the center of the area. There's a little section here. Use a torch to see everything. Also, these enemies, if you let them be, they will disappear. Really nice gimmick there. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I realized how I got hit. So yeah, these enemies will disappear if you let them. Here a little ambush yet again. That guy fallen. So yeah, this dark room has some ambushes. Also, you can get invade, but an NPC invader in the upper level before we came here. But he won't spawn because I don't have a number, and I think I haven't done the Cyrus quest line for him to spawn. So we go upwards to kill the other enemies. So yeah, we see two themes. We see the open knights, quote unquote, where you can fight them in the open and take the challenge. And we also see the ambushes from the slaves. Here the silver can drink saves me, because for some reason I used the torch. So yeah, the silver can drink saves my ass. Should have used a number there. Probably that will be the smart play. But it's no biggie, we can just go back up. So not a lot of how can I say, a world design in this area. Like, it's pretty easy to explain. Like, you just go straight. Like, the area puts challenge on you, you just go straight. Here I'm keep trying to find that one guy, which is pretty annoying actually. Climbing up the stairs yet again, looking around. Maybe he fell down. So yet again here an ambush. One of them will drop if you run. No biggie. Don't think I'll find him in the end. Yeah. I'm gonna turn the lights on just for this one, to see if he's anywhere near. Nope. 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 Pretty interesting. He went into a camouflage mode. Yeah. so we can't find him. So anyway, oh, here he is. Yeah. So anyway, we killed the guy that fell down, and we're moving forward. Yet again, more ambushes here. Like, it's kind of tricky to hit those guys, but also those guys are more aggressive than the others. But you can manage. We don't need the torch anymore. And yet again, silver cat ring. Come down here, kill that guy. That guy that follows. We kill that guy because he screams, and it will be pretty annoying if those things wake up. So we can take them one by one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Pretty basic stuff actually. Here there is a hidden wall somewhere around here. You can also see that the level turns back on itself, but not really interesting shortcuts or anything about that. As I said, pretty straightforward level. I'm just making sure that everything is dead. Yeah, pretty straightforward level design. So, another guy. We kill that thing too. I think it's the first time you see those things. Oh, I ran out of stamina. Yeah, I think it's the first time you see those things. Estus ring for the extra Estus. Switching back to the hovel is interesting. Also, I'm gonna do that, yeah. So, I should just use a dagger here, but I don't wanna waste my blue bar, maybe. So here, if you haven't killed the Sylvan Beast, he could come around here. Pretty interesting area to fight him, but you can still manage. I have never fought him here actually. I always killed him on the bridge. So yet again, those enemies. Not that hard, not that hard. One down. Bleed them out. Really. So those enemies on the lore perspective, maybe they are Sullivan's failures, maybe. Yeah, I think so. So anyway, moving on. Now here you can take actually 2 paths. If you miss the bonfire here, the area should be a little bit more harder. But if you don't, like if you don't miss it, you get a really nice checkpoint here. If you don't miss the bonfire. Silver cat ring yet again, because we want to take the little jump down right about here. Here is a very smart ambush actually, but we just keep it like the guys that run in and the pontiff knight that tries to kill you. Yet again, those enemies really weak to bleed. Here, switching to the silver protection ring because we're gonna go aggro on these guys. So yeah, that ambush here really smart, but it's if you have the silver cat ring, you can do what just I did. Also the grab attack on those guys, not very useful there if you're very close to them. So yeah, here was the ambush. If you run down the stairs, you're gonna get greedy. If you're gonna get greedy to hunt down the running guys, that knight should go aggro on you, and it should be very bad, but most people should know in Dark Souls games when the enemies run away from you, that means one thing, that you are gonna get ambushed. So cleared everything here. Don't have to go to the Irithyll dungeon if you don't want to not fail the Greyrat's quest line. We don't have embers, so Alvia won't spawn, so we just can keep moving forward. So here yet again, sewers. Nothing really special about it. Like the enemy's placement, like they're inside the water, you might not notice them. but if you pay enough attention, you can see that you can aggro them one by one. Dodge at the right time and stank lock them to death. Yeah, pretty much what the game suffers the most. Stun locking enemies. Another enemy appears. You can even stun lock them mid attack, which is pretty unfortunate for them. I have to say, pretty unfortunate. You can have these huge wind up attacks and you can stun lock them through them. No hyper armor at all. No hyper armor at all. So anyway, clearing the sewers. We are really careful about it because in the new game plus 7 those enemies actually do a lot of damage and it's very easy to die. Switching some weapons, cause why not? Why not? Right, 1, 2. Blade Brooks, dead. That one wakes up. Try to utilize the 2-hand moveset, but the wall stops me. Charge attack for the win. Again, 1, 2, dead. Here I was a little bit cocky and I took an unended hit, but no biggie. So, if you miss the bonfire, at least you get a free Estus right here. There's the soup, but again, don't use it for the Grey Rat quest. Some people have said that you can kind of fail his quest if you drink the soup here, but the soup will give you a free Estus anyway. So moving on here, the knights of course are dead, the one respawn. Another really neat ambush right here. Really neat ambush. So here you're gonna get invaded if you don't do the holo quest. Not so hard of an invader, he doesn't have much of a reach, so the scythe should help you here. And I think here was where I failed the challenge. Yeah, that part. Actually, I have found a counter to these dogs, but in this video I didn't know it. Like, you can kinda hide around these edges. You can cut them back and kill them. So you see the damage they do. That damage is through the steel protection. Holy shit. Also, nice gimmick from the frostbite of these jars. If you stay long enough, you're gonna get frostbitten by them. Really cool, but it should only work one time. Like, it shouldn't be working. Like the first time, maybe you will panic roll into them. When should it be that bad? So here some of them will have blue eyes, which apply frostbite. See, frostbite makes you, I think that your stamina generation is lower and your defenses are lower when you get frostbitten. But they didn't really force it to you. Like, I haven't seen a level that really forces you. Here we'll do some really tricky stuff to let the dogs fall. I don't wanna fight them legitly. Yeah, they don't really force it to you. I don't know why. Like, I haven't found an enemy that maybe the Outer Knights, yeah. Except for the Outer Knights, actually. Yeah, the Outer Knights, it's really easy to get frostbitten by them. But other than that, don't think there's any enemies that will truly frostbite you. Maybe the side guy here, which is a one-of-a-kind enemy. Yeah, maybe the side guy. If he hits you with his weapon art thingy. So anyway, that little area, really dangerous area. With the dogs and stuff, it's really easy to die. Even in new game, if you're not careful, the mage spam and the dogs can overwhelm you. Really interesting. Right before the shortcut. Yeah. Pretty nasty from soft. So here you can use the drop down to protect yourself from this room, which It's not that hard, but it's a tricky room the first time you go on raw, because you don't know what you're getting into. And again, the frostbite gimmick will get you here actually if you're not careful. I think the first time I played the game, I got hit by frostbite in this area. And using the blade yet again to our advantage. Yeah, the frostbite will get you actually. Will get you very easily in this area. Blood gem, always nice. Yeah, it's very easy to get frostbitten here. So moving on, after this little area, you get close to the boss room. So here you have to face the scythe enemy, which is the only enemy with hyper armor of that kind. Can I kill him to death? Yeah, I kill him to death, but he actually has hyper armor in some of his moves. It's pretty nice. Here, trading, no biggie. And here, I think those two enemies are the last enemies we have to face before we open the shortcut. So now the final enemies we have to kill are down here. So pretty basic area, I have to say. The only gimmicks of the area are its enemies. Like they have some ambushes, but nothing too severely broken. Like most of the ambushes of this area won't kill you if you're careful enough. And they'll also play around on the slave invisibility gimmick. They have some dangerous room, some really dangerous room actually. They hype up the Honor Londo with Silver Knights. And pretty much if you make mistakes, even a solo enemy of this area can kill you. But if you're careful around them, you can outplay them pretty easily. Just with stun lock, yeah. The stun lock will always work. So just making sure there are no more enemies. We'll have those two enemies left. So yeah, all in all, pretty interesting area. Huge challenge spike. I remember the first time I came to this area, I died a lot. Should be hard for new players, but it doesn't punish you enough when you die. Like most of the times, if you know what you're doing, you have a lot of checkpoints and a lot of ways around to go about it. And there are a lot of things that can counter these enemies. Like, I played without a shield, but a shield can actually counter them really goodly. You can just use a shield and backstab them, which is not that hard. The witches on the other hand, the first time they might get you, because you don't know where the fire is coming. So all in all, yeah, I think the difficulty of this area is just about fine. I don't know what happened here. Maybe I'm a little bit disappointed with the game design. I'm not sure. Am I going to use a hidden blessing here to not fail the challenge? Or am I gonna be a man? Let's see. I'm thinking about it. Really tempting to use the hidden blessing. Really tempting. Really tempting. Ooh, gonna be very, very tricky. Yeah. I'm gonna use this ring to just cover our footsteps and just really tricky actually. So yeah, this pretty much covers the whole area. Really nice area, really nice spike from the kind quote-unquote easy catacombs area. The first time you go around, as most of these areas of Dark Souls, is gonna be way harder. And all in all, really nice aesthetically. The difficulty, as I said, just right. But I wish it had more of a environmental difficulty, like the huge difficulties because of the enemies of the area, and not because of the environment or the game design, quote unquote. So it kind of feels flat to me. But anyway, guys, see you next time. Peace.